Good day, St. Maarten. I'm Yesenia Lazaro.
And I'm Alston Long.
And welcome to another edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's Wednesday. Let's go straight to the headlines.
Police, schools, and parents unite to stop student fights. In St. Maarten, police urge parents, schools, and the wider community to help curb a wave of student fights circulating on social media since the start of the 2025-2026 school year. The police force of St. Maarten said officers have already responded to several incidents, pulling resources away from other urgent duties. Authorities warned that these fights endanger not only the students involved, but also classmates nearby. Police reminded parents and guardians that discipline begins at home, stressing the need to talk with children about conflict, respect, and making positive choices. They also warned against filming and sharing fight videos online, noting that such behavior fuels more violence and may have legal consequences. To address the issue, community officers and school resource officers pledged closer cooperation with schools, parents, and students. Their goal is to prevent conflicts before they turn violent and to create safer environments for learning. Police said they would maintain a visible presence in and around schools, but emphasized that they cannot do it alone. They called on parents, teachers, and the community to stand together to protect young people and keep schools focused on education rather than disruption.
St. Maarten hosts Saint Lucian Trade Delegation. In St. Maarten, Minister of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport, and Telecommunication, Grisha Martin, welcomed the high-level trade mission from Export St. Lucia. The courtesy call also included Public Health Minister, the Honorable Richinel Brick, as the mission covered areas of joint interest between their ministries. The delegation visiting from September 1st to 4th featured businesses from sectors including sustainable agriculture, food and beverage, wellness products, manufacturing, and construction materials. Among the companies represented were Baron Foods, St. Lucia distillers, and suppliers of fresh produce, sea moss, premium juices, and natural health products. The mission aimed to introduce St. Lucian goods and services to the St. Maarten market, build business-to-business links, and explore sustainable trade partnerships. Meetings were arranged with Chamber of Commerce, hotels, spas, distributors, and retailers to identify collaboration opportunities. Minister Martin said Caribbean islands share both geography and aspirations for growth, urging local businesses to seize the opportunity to connect with St. Lucian partners during their short visit. Export St. Lucia CEO Sunita Daniel added that St. Maarten serves as an important gateway for trade in the Northern Caribbean, and the mission reflects St. Lucia's push to expand regional and international market access.
St. Maarten trains first group in new cell broadcast alert system. St. Maarten took a major step in disaster preparedness as government officials and key agencies completed specialized training in early warning systems using cell broadcast technology. The training, held during the week of August 25th, marked the first group officially certified to operate the system. Cell broadcast allows critical alerts to be sent instantly to mobile phones during emergencies. Participants learn to use the common alerting protocol, set up operating procedures, organize user groups, and conduct live tests. They also developed clear roles and responsibilities and adopted standardized color-coded messages to ensure fast, consistent communication. The Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Luke Mercelina called the initiative a milestone for public safety, emphasizing that the technology will allow the government to warn residents quickly when every second counts. He also highlighted the importance of training multiple agencies together, saying this unified approach will make the island stronger and more resilient. Looking ahead, the Prime Minister reaffirmed his commitment to expanding the program, stating that early warning saves lives and gives people confidence that they will be informed and protected in any disaster. In our featured story, a closer look at Press Day on St. Maarten and why many say there's not much to celebrate.
A new day begins. The sun rises over St. Maarten, bringing new energy, new possibilities. This island was built on resilience, progress, and the strength of its people. Our connection is what moves us forward. It links our communities, our businesses, our families. From the heart of the island to the shores beyond, we've connected St. Maarten. From every street to every home, this network was built for St. Maarten by St. Maarten hands. Connection isn't just about signals, it's about people. This is your island and your network recharged. Proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
It's Busy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, Sint Maarten, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us. And that's your Sunshine Report, brought to you by the Met Department of Sint Maarten. So as you enjoy your week, stay safe, stay friendly. Sunshine City.
The Cadastre and a Land Registry would like the public to be advised that their offices will be closed on Friday, September 5th and will reopen and resume normal business hours on Monday, September 8th. They apologize for any inconvenience they may have caused and thank you for your kind understanding.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of Sint Maarten. The Ministry of VROMI, Department of Infrastructure Management, together with the Police Department KPSM, is making changes to traffic on a section of Candegita Street and Manzanella Steak, Phillipsburg. The Candegita Street from the intersection with Percy LaBega Street to Manzanella Steak will now be a one-way street. Inbound traffic can enter Candegita Street from Percy LaBega Street and drive straight ahead or turn left into Manzanella Steak. Outbound traffic leaving town on Canigita Street must make a right turn onto Manzanilla Stake. Entry further into the Canigita Street will no longer be permitted. Outbound traffic exiting Manzanilla Stake onto Walton Nisbet Road can either make a right or left-hand turn. The Ministry of Vromi, Department of Infrastructure Management, and the Police Department would like to thank the public for their attention to this change. Please follow the new traffic rules and signage and drive safely.
School reconstruction tender draws only one bid. In St. Maarten, the tender to rebuild Sister Marie Lawrence Primary School closed with just a single bid, despite efforts to attract wider participation from local contractors. The National Recovery Program Bureau launched the tender in June under the Fostering Resilient Learning Project, funded by the World Bank Managed Trust Fund. The project followed the cancellation of a previous award that bundled the school's reconstruction with demolition works at 2 other sites. The demolition contract was later awarded separately to local firm Windward Roads BV. NRPB officials said they expected greater involvement from the local construction market, particularly after previous criticisms over foreign firms winning major projects. To address those concerns, the Bureau extended the bid deadline, held public information sessions, live-streamed procurement guidance, and awarded extra points for using local subcontractors and labor. Despite those efforts, no local contractors submitted bids or formed joint ventures for the project. NRPB Director Clary Connor said the procurement process remains open and competitive, and the single bid is now being evaluated for technical quality and value for money. The Bureau encouraged local firms to prepare early for upcoming tenders, including projects for the St. Maarten Library, the Charles Leopold Bell Primary School, and a new mental health care center.
SNSM rescues 2 sailors after engine failure off Grand Cause. What began as a search for 2 missing fishermen turned into a successful rescue operation Sunday night when the St. Maarten SNSM Sea Rescue Team assisted 2 women aboard a disabled sailboat off Grand Cause. The Maritime Rescue Coordination Center, Cross Antilles Guyane, initially alerted SNSM after a small fishing boat failed to return as expected. 4 volunteers set out aboard rescue vessel SN129 around 7:30 p.m. to search near Tantamar. By 8:02 p.m., Cross confirmed the fishermen were safe on shore, ending the original alert. While returning to base, the SNSM crew spotted light signals from a sailboat Lady Lou 2 registered in Quebec. The 2 women on board had been trying to tow their disabled vessel with a small dinghy after suffering an engine breakdown. An SNSM volunteer boarded the sailboat, secured a tow line, and guided it to safe anchorage in Grand Cause Bay. By 9:07 p.m., the vessel was moored and its crew out of danger. SNS 129 returned to Fort Louis Marina at 9:30 p.m. The rescued underscored the vigilance and dedication of the SNSM volunteers, who continue to play a critical role in safeguarding local waters.
Sint Maarten Library honors 45 years of service by Shirley Richardson. The St. Maarten Library celebrated a remarkable milestone on September 1st, honoring Shirley Richardson for 45 years of dedicated service to the institution and the community. Throughout her career, Richardson earned praise for her professionalism, commitment, and passion for fostering a love of reading and lifelong learning. Generations of patrons have benefited from her guidance and devotion to the library's mission. Library General Manager Mark Marshall described Richardson as someone who embodies the values of the institution, noting that her service has enriched the community and strengthened the library's role as a hub of knowledge and inspiration. The library board, management, and staff expressed their deepest appreciation for her outstanding contributions over the past 4.5 decades, recognizing her as an integral part of St. Maarten's culture and educational life. Right after the break, our feature story asks the hard question: is the press in St. Maarten really serving the people, or simply echoing power? The Cadastre and a Land Registry would like the public to be advised that their offices will be closed on Friday, September 5th and will reopen and resume normal business hours on Monday, September 8th. They apologize for any inconvenience they may have caused and thank you for your kind understanding.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every laugh, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Well, yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App, you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Welcome back to NEWSDESK. September 1st is marked as St. Maarten Press Day, a day meant to honor the principles of press freedom and the role of journalism in our society. Yet, as history has shown, the day often passes by unnoticed, uncelebrated, and unexamined. On NEWSDESK, we take a moment of reflection, looking at what this day means, what it says about our state, of our media industry, and whether freedom of the press on this island is truly what it should be.
Press Day is a tradition that traces back to the former Netherlands Antilles, where the island's press was once part of a larger regional constellation. But even then, celebrations were inconsistent. That inconsistency continues today, reflected in what some describe as a lack of seriousness within the profession itself. Veteran journalists such as Fabian Badajo, Oral Gibbs, and Suja Rafe have long sounded the alarm on the fragility of press freedom here. They point to the absence of unity among journalists, the absence of a media association, and a culture where press releases are too often published verbatim without proper questioning. This is not to say we lack press freedom. On the contrary, St. Martin's media is anchored on private ownership. Radio, television, newspapers, and increasingly online platforms. Out of a dozen or so radio stations, only one is government-owned, and even that is among the least listened to. During Hurricane Irma, when the island was cut off, it was a privately owned station, not the government one, that became the official voice for updates, sanctioned by ministers. That was a reminder of the power and responsibility the private media carries. But as many point out, freedom of the press is not the same as a free press. True press freedom requires responsibility, fairness, balance, professionalism, and solidarity with the people. It means holding those in power accountable, even when it is uncomfortable to do so. And it means standing together when fellow journalists have faced harassment, pressure, or exclusion for simply doing their jobs. At NEWSDESK, as the newest form of news broadcasting through video media, we too have encountered our share of roadblocks. Opportunities to inform and engage the public have sometimes been denied, not because of a lack of skill or credibility, but because of perceived associations with other journalists or critiques that we carry bias. These obstacles highlight the very challenges that still cloud the path to practicing true free press on St. Maarten. Critics argue that too often we, the media, fall short. We repeat official statements without investigation, we fail to distinguish allegations from facts, and sometimes we allow harmful rhetoric, even racist ads, to take up space in our newspapers. These choices raise real questions about whether we are being the voice of the voiceless or simply echoing the voices of the powerful. The founders of journalism in St. Maarten, figures like Jose Lake Sr. and Mervyn Scott, saw the press as a tool of liberation, a check on authority, and a voice for the people. If they were here today, many say they would be disappointed on how little effort has gone into preserving unity or building institutions to strengthen the craft. And yet, the story is not without hope. The rise of digital platforms, social media, and independent online outlets have opened doors for more voices to participate in the public conversation. Freedom of expression is alive and well, but with that freedom comes obligation. The obligation to do better, to be more responsible, and to ensure that truth has a louder voice than falsehood.
So today, perhaps the real task is not celebration, but reflection. Reflection on whether our press is truly free, reflection on whether we stand united as professionals, and reflection on how we can better serve the people of this island by informing, educating, and defending them from abuse of power. For St. Martin's media industry, the challenge remains clear. Freedom exists, but freedom alone is not enough. What we do with it, how responsibly, how boldly, and how truthfully is the test of journalism in our time. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and then across our social media platforms. I'm also Lawrence.
And I'm Yesenia Lassiter, wishing you an amazing evening. See you tomorrow.
I got it. Stay friendly, St. Maarten.